Yes/no questions, simple present. In this lesson, you will learn how to form yes/no questions with all verbs except for be. Use do or does to form questions. Here are some examples. Do you have a car? Do you like pizza? Do you speak English? Do you understand? Notice every question starts with do. Use do and does to form questions in the simple present. We do this for all verbs except for be. Look at the photo. I can ask the girl, "Is he your brother?" The answer is yes or no. But if I don't see the brother, I want to ask her a different question. I want to use the verb have to form a question. You know how to make this statement. You have a brother. Here's the subject, you, and here is the verb, have. To form the question, we just add the word do in front. Do you have a brother? We don't reverse the order like we do with be, yes, and no questions. This is incorrect. We need do. Do you have a brother? Remember the verb chart for do. These are the same forms we use to form questions. There are two forms, do and does. And you have to think these are to form questions. They don't mean the same as the verb do or does as a main verb. Let's look at some examples. Michael works at a high school. Remember, we need this S on works because Michael is third person singular. But look what happens when we form the question. Does Michael like his job? The S is on does now. Like does not need an S. It's in simple form because we only need one S. Does Michael like his job? Michael likes his job. And here you can see that S is back for third person singular. There's one S here and one S here. Here's some other examples of questions. The Smith family has a new house. Does it have a garage? Does it have a garden? Does it have a pool? Does it have a fireplace? Do they like it? You can see does it for singular and do they for the plural they. Brad and Grace go to Southlake School. Are they classmates? Do they use a computer at school? Do they work together? Do they like school? Notice the first question. Are they classmates? There's no do or does here because this is the be verb. But look at these other questions. They all have another verb, use, work, and like. To make these questions, we need the main verb, use, work, or like in the simple form and a do at the beginning. Let's practice. You will see a sentence on the right. They play soccer. To make the question, use do. Do they play soccer? Okay, now look. We've got do and the subject they and play. And if you look at the sentences together, do they play soccer is the same as they play soccer with the do at the beginning. Form the question. Here the sentence is, they have a new puppy. Okay, start with do because do goes with they. Do they have a new puppy? And again, you've got do, subject, and the main verb in simple form, and you can see that they match up. Okay, one more. Form the question. This time the sentence is she walks to class. Okay, I see an S and a she. So what is our first word? Does. Does she walk to class? Okay, let's look. When we match up these sentences, we've got does and walk. Does she walk to class? And if we look through, you can see there's an S on does and the S on walks. We only need one S. So do not put an S on the walk in does she walk to class. Okay, you know do is a verb. Here's a sentence. She does yoga in the morning. Does here is the main verb. We say do yoga. Let's make this a question. Does she do yoga in the morning? Okay, now we have does and do. And does is used to ask the question, and do is the main verb for yoga. So this does here is this do in the question. And this does here is just the does that we use to ask the question. It can be confusing. It may sound strange, but I can ask you, do you do yoga? And now we have two do's in one sentence. But again, the first do is to ask the question, and the second do is the main verb. Let's look at another example. She does homework after school. How do we make this a question? Does she do homework after school? Remember, when we form a question, we don't say does and does. We only need one S. You try. What is the correct word order to make a question? Big ears have do elephants. Do elephants have big ears? Yes, they do. What is the correct word order for the question? Does he drive to work? Does he drive to work? No, he doesn't. He takes the subway. Okay? Okay, let's see what you understand. Look at the sentence. Does Anne work? Think. Is this correct question form? Does Anne work? Yes, that's correct. Do tigers live in Asia? Yes, that is also correct. Does Mac likes rain? No. What's wrong here? That's right. We have an extra S. We don't need the S on likes because we already have does. They play tennis? That sounds good, but that is also wrong. They play tennis is not the correct question form. There's no do. This is actually just a sentence. They play tennis. The question is, do they play tennis? Is he have a meeting? Is he have a meeting? Wrong. This is the wrong verb. We don't want a be verb when we have in the question. There's no does here. Correct would be, does he have a meeting? Do you understand? Yes, that is correct. I hope you understand. Okay. Use do or does to form a question. Do you like your job? Does he like his job? Remember, we need the do or does in front, and the verb stays in the simple form.